Misty Winston on today's News Talk Radio, TNT.
Hello. Welcome back to TNT Radio. I'm Misty Winston. Another quick reminder that this Saturday, TNT is going to be doing amazing coverage of Australia's Freedom Rally. So it's going to be Mike Ryan, Joseph Arthur, and Malcolm Roberts. They're going to be crisscrossing Australia, bringing live coverage from all the major cities, just connecting everybody for the Freedom Rally. So the times for that in Australia, Australian Eastern Time, the coverage will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. In the United States Eastern Standard Time, it'll be Friday from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So 9 p.m. Friday into 1 a.m. Saturday. And in the UK, it'll be 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So definitely tune in for that coverage. I love me some Mike Ryan and some Joseph Arthur. I'm not really familiar with Malcolm Roberts. I'm going to have to get myself familiar with him. So definitely tune in for that. Should be great coverage. And now, joining us again is everyone's favorite Uncle Warren. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. He always makes me laugh. We get distracted. We have a good time, which we need to do more of these days. Warren's also the host of the show Extra Bola, which is part of Indie News Network. You can find the show and the network on pretty much all the platforms. They've been very busy kind of trying to diversify their presence, which we all need to do. So, we can kind of try to escape the unprecedented censorship that's going on right now. And also you can follow Warren on the tweeters at W Dearman, but that's dear as in like, oh, you're so dear, Dearman. So W Dearman. Hey, Warren, thanks for being here, my friend.
Thank you for explaining my name like that. That was, I always have to tell people like over the phone or something. I say, yeah, it's Dearman. Like you're writing a letter to man, dear man, no antlers. So I appreciate that.
No antlers.
I'm doing no antlers. Not yet. Anyway, I'm working on it. I'm doing fine. How you doing, doll?
I'm doing okay. You need a shirt that says no antlers. I'd buy that. But let's be real. I would buy any shirt.
Listen, I started putting out some new merch on the old Teespring store. So I think I'm gonna have to put the no antlers on there. You've given me inspiration.
Totally buy it.
Teespring store, so I think I'm gonna have to put the no antlers on there. You've given me inspiration.
Totally buy
it. Would you? No, you
I have
wouldn't.
a shirt
Shut
problem.
up.
Yes, Warren. I'm going to take a picture. One day I'm going to get all of my shirts out and I'm going to pile them all up and I'm going to take a picture for everybody because I don't think people take me seriously when I tell them that I have a shirt problem. I have a shirt problem. It's a problem. I have a lot of shirts. It's ridiculous. But I like shirts. I am a shirt. My sister it sent me a thing where they have like a shirt of the month club. And I'm like, that's mean. That's like, you're such an enabler.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
There's a shirt of the month club? No way.
Yes. And my sister, knowing that I have a really hardcore shirt addiction, sent that to me. What are you doing? Every time I get a new shirt, my husband's like, really? Another shirt? Yes, I need another shirt.
Mama's got to get her fix. Mama got to get her fix of shirts.
Listen, I guess there are worse things I could be addicted to.
Well, yeah, at least you'll have clothing, or at least top half clothing in the apocalypse. So that's always good to know.
That's true.
But I'm the same. The same way. I'm a shirtaholic myself. But working in radio and then working in various retail jobs, especially when I worked at Borders Books, we used to get like promo shirts and stuff like that all the time. And so I would say 90% of my top half wardrobe is probably t-shirts. And I would say probably 99% of those shirts I got for free in one way or another. I just feel weird buying a shirt. It just feels unnatural and I feel unclean.
Oh, I don't. I like buying shirts. But I get the free shirt thing because my husband works in restaurants. So we get, first of all, we get shirts from his restaurant. Then we also get shirts from like Budweiser and Sam Adams and all the vendors. So I have a lot of shirts that way too. I wish they'd give me more free ones. That would certainly help me not have to buy so many. I don't have to buy it. Well, I do. It's a problem. Well, anyway.
Well, I'm not opposed to buying one. I just the shirt prices these days are just through the roof. So it's if I can find a bargain somewhere, like thrift stores or something like that, like some t-shirt that looks pretty. I like, especially ones with like the most random print. You can find like an old BJ and the Bear TV show t-shirt or something that nobody knows what the hell that show is anymore except us old people. I love that stuff.
Me too.
Hidden treasure.
Me too. The more obscure, the better. I like it. I like going to thrift stores and finding shirts that way. That's always fun. I can't wait for TNT to get shirts. I think we're going to be getting shirts pretty soon. I hope. I'm going to get all the shirts. I'm going to buy all the shirts. I told Mike Ryan I was going to buy all the shirts. He's like, well, I'll give you some. And I'm like, no, I'll buy all the shirts. All the shirts. I'm going to buy you out, homie. That's what's going to happen. I have a real problem.
Well, I am a double X, extra large. So just in case you have too many shirts and you're looking to give away to a friend. So I'm always, like I said, I'm always down for a free shirt, baby. That's how I roll. Yes. I'm working those angles.
Yes. Everybody, I mean, seriously, if you ever want to make me happy, buy me a shirt. Seriously, I ask for shirts all the time for like Christmas and my birthday. It's a thing. Everybody knows if you want to make me happy, buy me a shirt. And there are certain categories of shirts that you can never go wrong with. Like I love Ohio State. So if you want to buy me an Ohio State shirt, that's always good. I love music. So most music tees are cool, but don't get me somebody lame. I get mad. You know what I mean? But yeah, like it is a legitimate problem. I should probably seek therapy. This is kind of like a therapy session.
Well, I'm glad. I'm Dr. Fraser Crane. I'm listening.
Therapy with Uncle Warren.
I think, I know, right? I really miss my calling. You make a lot of cheese doing that too. But I do it to help people, not for the money. But I do have to mention one thing though on the new merch store. Well,
first of all, tell us where we can find it. What's the link? Where can we find it?
Oh God, it's just look on I think it's the spring.com now. It used to be, I go to TEESPRING.com and then look up Extra Bulla. I can't remember. Radio is weird. I feel like like no, can't show you words, must tell you letters.
It is hard.
But I do want to say the graphic designer, I did some of it, but the majority of the work was done by my pal Jimmy Sunderland. She did a great job. And one of my favorite shirts on there, we have a tie-dye shirt, and it has an alpaca, and it's smoking a pipe of marijuana, and it says underneath it says alpaca bowl. See, because he's gonna pack a bowl. Right?
Okay, I have to have that. I have to have that. Yeah. I like it.
It glows in the dark, I think. It's like wild, crazy colors too. I like wild, crazy colors too. I like people to see me coming from a mile away too. So
I like
especially
black.
when I'm driving.
I'm a black person. That sounded bad.
Black ones on there too.
Yeah. That just sounded bad.
Your cold, dark soul loves black. Of course, who doesn't?
That's true.
Actually, most of my shirts are black. The free ones, you kind of get what you get. But like, if I was when I get my own shirts, I usually get like black T-shirts. I love black T-shirts because I love black. Casper, the friendly ghost white, and I kind of look like 4 sticks made out of milk sticking out of a black void, and it scares the hell out of children. So that's a fun thing.
I'm trying to find the link for your merch so that I can say it out loud, and there's so many messages in the group chat that I can't even find it. Holy cow, you guys.
That's okay.
Y'all have been group chatting like crazy. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, just go to Warren. Again, you can follow Warren on Twitter, WDearman, @WDearman. Again, DEARMAN. So just go there, and then you can find the link for all the merch and stuff like that. I love merch. I love that everybody's getting merch. Makes me happy.
Oh, here's something easy. You can also find that and all my other links on. I have a link tree, so it's linktr.ee/extra bulla, so you can find all that stuff there.
Cool. Yay. I love
Yeah.
merch. Everybody should make merch. I will buy. You know what I actually thought of that I would love to do, because let's be honest, I should run a shirt company, right? Like that should be my job. I should run a shirt company.
Right.
And I feel like I should buy all the stuff, like all the stuff that you need to make shirts. And then I can be like the place that makes all of the shirts for all of our friends, like all of our merch. I can be that person, and I can start like a co-op, and like we can have. And then I also thought too, I had another really cool idea. I think it would be cool if we did like kind of crowdsourcing shirt designs, and then we could use that money that's made, like it can all go, like everybody, like make a website where anybody can go and make a design, and then you can go and purchase whatever designs that you want, and then we can start like a mutual aid fund out of that money. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be like crowdfunding and crowdsourcing at the same time. I feel like that would be good. We need it. We're going to need that.
That's kind of, well, I mean, yeah, all you got to do really is just have the base materials, like your shirts and stuff like that. And usually you can get those wholesale, like relatively cheap. I mean, that's what like Teespring and these other print on demand places do. You just print it on demand, and then you send it out. That way you don't have stacks and stacks of shirts, although you probably like that. You probably jump into it like it was like a pile of leaves in the fall, and you're like swimming in shirts like you're Aqua Woman, you know, that kind of thing with circles coming out of your head. Yeah. So and nice and soft too, like right out of the dryer when you got the fabric softener on there. Oh,
yeah,
delightful.
That's a good time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good time.
You like
yeah,
that,
but
don't
seriously,
you like them shirts.
I would love to run a shirt company. I feel like that's my calling. I feel like that's where I could best serve the movement. You know, because I love shirts, so I feel like I would like take really careful care to make them properly and to do a good job and to send them out on time and all that stuff. I would really like to do that. But I will say this, the stuff that you need to like make shirts is really expensive. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars to like get the stuff that you need to get started. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe one day we can realize that dream for me. Until then, I'll just keep buying everybody else's shirts.
You could call it Miss T Shirts. See, and it's T-shirts in the name, right? And you don't want to miss these deals. Say you're welcome.
I feel like that's an epic dad joke and a great advertising campaign. Really, you know, I think it's just cringy enough.
Dad jokes. Oh yeah, right? There you go. Yeah, if you can't profit off dad jokes in this day and age, you know what the hell are you doing with your life?
I know. I was just talking to Tara Reid on Friday. She comes on the show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss Tara Reid. She's great. We just like talk about the news of the week or whatever. You've probably heard me say it a million times. It was the first time she heard me say that government is like a soap opera with psychopaths. And she's like, oh my God, somebody should write a book with that name. And I'm like, well, you're a writer. Do it. Like, write a book. You can have the title. Go for it. Go for it, sister. So yeah, I need a shirt that says soap opera with psychopaths, with pictures of like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and AOC and you know, Lindsey Graham. Have you heard Lindsey Graham is going nuts and wants us to like essentially start World War III? Like that's his big plan. We're going to start World War III. He's really smart. He's a really smart.
Oh, I heard him the other day. He was like, well, we could just dodge all them bombs. We don't have to. You could just put up umbrellas. We've got these big, you ever seen these giant umbrellas? I think if you fell off a house, you could just float down like Mary Poppins.
That's a really good Lindsey Graham.
Totally. Well, I'm a Southern boy. We all talk like that.
That's a pretty good Lindsey Graham, though. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty impressive. But my friend Kyle Anzalone wrote a piece. Like the reason I brought it up is we talked about it on Friday yesterday. What's today? Tuesday? God. All my days blur together. Yeah. So Kyle Anzalone comes on every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern to talk foreign policy with me. And if you're not following Kyle Anzalone, you should be. He's fantastic. He's a libertarian. He writes for the Libertarian Institute and also antiwar.com. But he is a fantastic foreign policy journalist. He does a really great job, and he cranks out articles like you would not. I mean, seriously, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 articles every week when he comes, like that we have to go through. But he, nice. Kyle wrote a really great piece about Lindsey Graham and his insane blabberings about starting World War III. I mean, just shut up. You know what I mean? Stop talking. Nobody wants World War III but Raytheon. Like, I don't care. I don't care. No World War III. I don't know why that's even up for negotiation. It's not up for discussion. No World War III. No. Like, that's a hard no. You know what I mean?
Misty,
it's so weird. Ugh.
They watch that movie Red Dawn, and they think, well, if we don't do nuclear attacks, then they'll come here and they'll get us, and we'll have to go to the mountains with the ghost of Patrick Swayze and see Thomas Howell, although he's still alive, and we'll have to fend them off, and we'd just rather just chunk bombs. It's easier. I think that's how they look at it,
They're so, and well, I mean, they also have their own they have their own little bomb shelters. Like, rich people all have their own little, getaways that they have, and so they don't care. But we do have to take a break.
Have you?
Man, we always such a depressing way to end the segment.
I'm doing devil horns right now because I always get us off track. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. When are we ever on track, Warren? Seriously, when is our conversation ever on track?
Touche.
That doesn't happen.
Touche, Misty.
Okay.
Touche.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Anyways, we have to take a quick break. Everybody, hang tight for a couple minutes. We're going to be back with more from Uncle Warren right after this.
As Joe Biden negotiates his way out of the room, we don't negotiate with the truth. We mandate that the truth be told. Today's News Talk Radio, TNT.
Welcome back to TNT Radio. I am Misty Winston. I'm joined by my dear friend, Uncle Warren, who's the host of Extra Bolo, which you can find across multiple platforms on the Indie News Network. And just really quickly, I just heard myself during that ad break because Mike Ryan is amazing. And I hate hearing myself, but it's really, I just want to take a minute to thank Mike and to thank the people at TNT for allowing me to record that spot and to play that. They've been very supportive of my efforts to raise awareness about Julian Assange and the threat to press freedom and the First Amendment that kind of represents. So I just want to thank them for that. It means a lot to me that they, are willing to, let me do what I do, I guess. So thank you to them for, first of all, being supportive of Julian Assange and free speech and press freedom, for letting me talk about it as often as I do, because I know I'm sure some people get annoyed by it, but it's really important. So I just want to thank them for giving me that space to do so. I appreciate it. Okay, anyway, so speaking of free speech, I wanted to talk to you. Did you see that just recently Elon Musk said that he would reverse the ban on Donald Trump? Oh, I can't wait for the neoliberal freak out. Like, I'm sure that's happening. I'm going to click on it and see who's freaking out. Because, like Joy Behar is going to freak out and Alyssa Milano's going to freak out. And there's going to be a lot of freaking out. And I really hope that he means that because I can tell you that, listen, I am somebody who obviously is obsessive about free speech, press freedom, all of that stuff. And I am also very educated and aware about the way that propaganda and narrative management is used against us. But I was still genuinely shocked when they took a sitting president off the internet, like entirely, like Pinterest banned Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, didn't vote for him, wouldn't vote for him. That's terrifying. Like, that's a really dangerous. I was shocked. I don't know why I was shocked because I've seen this kind of stuff coming, but that was a really big step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw this tweet by Occupy Democrats. Oh, those people. Good
They're
God.
Terrible.
So it just seems like each tweet just gets worse and worse.
I know.
It's like if you think press freedom is disgusting, retweet. Like, really? Are you what happened to you people? So they were talking about the Trump situation, what Elon said about Trump, and yeah, it was great. It's like I have never seen a mushroom cloud come out of a computer that wasn't actually on fire itself. I saw it come out of that tweet. It was like, really? And then I didn't see any like familiar names in the comments, but I saw a lot of pearl clutching and whatnot. Because sitting president and you take him off the social medias, that's crazy. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of Trump. I would even vote for him. I really don't like anything. The only thing I like about Trump is that he hacks off the poop libs. I got to use my PG words here on the radio because But it's great. I mean, that I don't even think he's going to come back. I think he said
no.
Well, I'm probably not even going to come back to Twitter. Anyway. So, but the fact that these people are freaking out, you think? I think it. Well, I think he will. I think he said he wouldn't, knowing who was in charge of Twitter at the time. But now, once it all goes through, I think he's gonna. Yeah, well, I'm gonna come back. I know people don't want me to come back. I'm coming back, baby.
Thanks, Elon.
I'm gonna do it, Elon.
Yeah.
Me and Elon's gonna hang out at a Stuckey's on the side of the road and have some peanut brittle. Anyway, so I don't know where I came up with Stuckey's, but that's like a country thing. Anyway, but it's just crazy that people just do this. I mean, with all of the censorship we've seen in the last couple of years, and then that was just kind of like the topping on everything. It was just like, I mean, I hope he comes back for the sake of free speech. I mean, all I have to do, I don't follow him. I didn't follow him when he was on there, so I never got any of his tweets. I was never affected by his rhetoric. I think people, if you don't like him, just do the same and you'll be fine. All right.
It's really simple.
Cool.
It's like if you're watching TV and a show comes on that you don't like, you turn the channel. And if you're on Twitter or social media and there's somebody on there that you don't like, just keep scrolling. Like, it's really easy to do. It's not that complicated. We're all grown-ups here, right? Like, I don't need some corporate overlord to tell me or to protect me from, speech that's scary or bad or wrong, or I'm a grown-up. I can think for myself. He said some offensive stuff sometimes, but just because you're offended doesn't mean that you get to just shut somebody down entirely. And especially, again, a sitting president. Oh my God, that's the precedent that set. I don't, that's bad. That's really bad. But we've been on like this really dangerous downslide as far as free speech goes for a long time. I mean, it's been going on forever. Listen, powerful people don't like their stuff exposed. I mean, it's just a thing. They don't enjoy it. So that's kind of been like free speech, press freedom, that's been under attack for a very long time. But since Obama, it has really escalated to another level. I mean, that dude went after whistleblowers and journalists more than all other presidents combined. He used the Espionage Act more than all other presidents combined. There was a very significant ramp up. And because he was charming and charismatic and he was nice and people liked him, he was able to push that kind of stuff. I mean, he made it legal to propagandize the American population again. And so, that I think that was a really significant time period. Like, that really did kind of shift things into a really dangerous direction. And now we find ourselves in a situation where a journalist is being tortured for telling the truth, and whistleblowers are in jail for exposing the truth. And people are being censored at an unprecedented level. And it's bad. It's all very, very bad. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it will. I mean, Bill Clinton kind of, he was the one that he was the icebreaker with that, talking about using personality to kind of smooth over all the heinous things he and the government were doing. And you talk about censorship. I mean, I remember way back when they were going after, was it Al Gore's wife, Tipper? Tipper was going after rap music. And wanted that explicit language labels put on CDs and stuff. So, I mean, I guess that's not censorship, whereas like you're taking it out of the mix, but
it's soft censorship.
It's censorship in the fact that it's soft censorship. You're labeling something. It's kind of like they do on Twitter now. They'll say this so-and-so is Russian TV affiliated or something like that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that they did back. And that was 30 years ago they were doing that.
Yes. And that is and to me, that's soft censorship. Yes, it's not like explicit. We're going to take you, like we're going to prohibit rap music. Like we're just going to not let that exist. They're not going to do that. But there's a multitude of ways that they can do soft censorship. We're seeing lots of that happen now. The way that like PayPal just went after Mint Press News and Consortium News, that's soft censorship. And really, that aspect goes even further. excuse me, that the financial aspect, I mean, I've been talking about this for a couple years now. That is essentially economic sanctions on independent media. That is a way that they are able to force out voices of dissent, because if they make it financially impossible for you to continue the work, because it is, listen, it's work. Like I get really tired of, people yelling grifter and whatever. If you're doing this work, if you're making content, if you are researching and all of that stuff, and then you're putting out a show, you should be compensated for that work. And I don't know why that's controversial, especially on the left, like the quote unquote left. Like everybody wants co-ops and everybody wants people to be compensated fairly, and we want economic equality. And yet, if you have a podcast or if you put out YouTube videos, you're just a grifter and you don't deserve to be compensated. It's just so weird. But that really is like a whole other dangerous. And I want to give a shout out to Will Porter. So Will Porter is, I was just speaking about Kyle Anzalone earlier, who is on my show every Monday. But Will is Kyle's, like they write a lot of things, they co-author a lot of articles together. I've never spoken to Will. I would like to have him on the show, but he recently put out a piece when PayPal reversed their decision about Consortium News. And Will put out an article. It was like a good news article, which is rare. We don't get a lot of those. But it was a good news article. Like they reversed their decision. PayPal's going to get their money back, all that good stuff. And he made the connection to WikiLeaks. And I'm so thankful to him for doing that, because I think a lot of people forget because it's been so long. But one of the first ways that they went after Julian Assange and WikiLeaks was financially. They shut, like PayPal cut him off, all the credit card companies cut him off, like every fundraising platform shut him down. And that's what forced WikiLeaks to go into crypto very early on in the game. And so I just want to thank Will Porter for making that connection and for, making sure that part of the story is told, and kind of making the through line to what's happening currently. Cause I don't think a lot of people realize that was one of the first ways. I mean, they kind of tested that out on WikiLeaks. So yeah, shout out to Will for that.
They had, going back to that example of the rap music back in the 90s, that they thought it was going to be a deterrent. It was gonna stifle the industry, and if anything, it did the other thing. It backfired. It actually, people were buying. A lot of people were buying CDs and whatnot because it had explicit lyrics. They're like, it's like, oh, I don't have to go exploring. I know it's right on the CD label. It tells me, gimme, here's my money, and then the rap music exploded after that. So. It's careful what you wish for when you try to suppress people. Me being a Southerner who grew up in the Bible Belt, when you suppress people, especially like preachers' kids who get suppressed, they tend to be the wildest of children. So you have to be careful when you're trying to suppress anything, because you're gonna suppress it so far, and then it's just gonna spring back on you. And it's going to be worse than you could have ever imagined. So, and you talked about going after the money like they did for WikiLeaks. That's what us in the independent circle should be doing to these big guys, is going after the pocketbooks, going after the money of these people who are trying to censor everybody. So, I mean, that's the only language they know anyway, is money. And if you mess up their money, then you're gonna, at least, you may not stop them, you may stall them for a little bit, but we got to do something, right?
Yeah, we need to figure out another kind of fundraising donation sort of platform. I don't know, because it seems like all the ones that we currently have are incredibly corrupted. They've been co-opted. There's an agenda there. They work hand in hand with the government to censor people. And we need to figure out another way of going about it. I don't know how. I don't know if we create our own. I don't know. I know like Rockfin, they have their own donation system, which is fine. It's in crypto, and that's fine, I guess. But I know that Odyssey, I think, is doing a new, I don't know if they've launched it yet or not, but they're doing kind of like, I guess it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like a super chat kind of a thing, or if it's like a Patreon kind of a thing. I'm not really sure. I need to investigate that a little bit more. But hopefully Odyssey,
I think it's like a Patreon. Yeah. I think it's kind of like a subscription. From what I heard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like
You
a
could do
subscription thing. Like you. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, like I mean, hopefully Odyssey and Rockfin don't get caught up in the corruption. I mean, I'm not holding my breath because of inevitably everybody disappoints us. So this is why I'm a cynic.
I'm doing my part. So I have a money making idea for things. I'm going old school with it. So here in Brooklyn, I'm going to set up shop on the sidewalk there, and I'm going to sell lemonade, right? And I'm going to have it where like the word says lemonade, and like, you know, one of the letters is backwards, because that's cute. And my hair's long enough so I could do pigtails. So I'm gonna do pigtails. And anybody that walks by, I'll say, "Hey, mister, you want some lemonade? It's only $5.50."
$5.50. Yeah.
I was like doing the math in my head. I was like, I can't charge $5. That's terrible. $50. I take crypto. And I have to talk like that because it's Brooklyn, and that's like kind of a law around here. So you have to have that squeaky voice. Yeah. So right. I don't even know if it's gonna be lemonade or not. It may be just, I may just do like I may just stick a lemon in some water and say, you know, Coke. Like the kids say, Coke, just Coke. All right, there's your lemonade. All right, just be lucky it's in a cup. Get out of here. Right.
I kind of like that, actually. I think a lot of people would laugh at that and would, you know what I mean? Like, I think people would be like, that's funny. That's funny. And I think people would participate. That's like, I was in Boston one time and there was a homeless guy and he had a sign that said, "I need money for liquor." And I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's honest. I'm down. So I gave him $5. I'm like, here you go. Go get yourself some liquor, my friend. You know, that kind of stuff makes me giggle. Yeah, but we're going to have to figure something out. And what's really frustrating about the quote unquote left, and again, this is why I hate labels, because I honestly, Warren, I don't even like relate to the quote unquote left. Like they're so lost and confused, and they're focused on things that don't matter or that are insignificant in the grand scheme of things, or that are things that we can't even begin to tackle until we deal with the system. They get easily distracted. It's very frustrating. But there's this whole, I feel like there's a lot of purity testing going on. Like we're not even focused on the things that we need to do in order to get where we want to go. We're too busy fighting about nonsense, you know? You know, you don't support this cause enough, or you talk to this person, so you're canceled, or you know what I mean? Right. It's just so dumb. I'm over it. I'm really over it.
It's very clicky. Yeah, it's clicky. Yes. You know, you got all these clicks and people just not seeing the big picture about that. And I'm the same way with you. I dropped labels a long time ago. Somebody asked me, "Well, are you a lefty? Or are you a leftist or whatever?" I say, look, I'll tell you the things I believe in, and then you can go from there. Because I found that labels, what they do, it gives somebody a convenient way to peg you right away, so they don't have to take the time to get to know you and what you believe, right? So you say, if you hear, "I'm left, I'm on the left," then all these notions get in somebody's head about what the left is. You're not really explaining who you are. You just said, I'm on the left. You know, when you say, I'm for this, I'm against this, I'm for this, then you kind of break it down in there. But you would think more people would be amenable to that, would think like that's refreshing to hear. But no, there are so many people who are so used to instant gratification that they have to know who you are right away in order to judge you right away, in order to know how to deal with you right away. Because I got shit, I got stuff to do. Oops, I should have said poopies.
It's fine.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I felt verklempt. But it's a convenience, but it's an inconvenience at the same time, because it doesn't further things. It doesn't make progress. Right. It's just convenient for jerks, basically.
No, and I think that like what you just said is incredibly profound. And I think that that's exactly what it is. It's a way that people can just easily dismiss you without having to take the time to without having to put any of the work in to talk to you. You know what I mean? And that's like, I don't agree. Like, there's a lot lot of like quote unquote left. What does that even mean? Like, we don't even know what that means. Nobody's really defined it. It means something different for everybody. Like I said earlier, some people consider AOC like a leftist, and she's not. To me, that's not a leftist.
No.
No. Like, if you're an authoritarian and if you're an imperialist, like, to me, that's not left. So there's this weird, like, people don't even know what that means. And it's always, that's why I hate labels. They are always used. They're always co-opt and used to divide, period. That's it. That's the only thing that they're good for. So I just talk to people. I don't care who you are. I don't care if we disagree on some things. That's why every time I have a conversation on this show with somebody who is quote unquote right or quote unquote a conservative, if I tell them I'm from the left, I do it at the end of the conversation, and almost always they're shocked. You know what I mean? So, I like to sneak it in there.
Surprise!
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was on the left all along. La, la.
Well, I mean, we really do. We really do have more in common with each other than we're willing to admit, I think, a lot of the time. So, okay, we have to take a quick break. Everybody hang tight. We're going to have more with Uncle Warren right after this here on TNT Radio. Don't go anywhere.
Telling the truth is the only mandate we believe in. Today's News Talk Radio, TNT.
Hey, welcome back to TNT Radio. I'm Misty Winston, joined this hour by my friend Uncle Warren, and we've been laughing and being distracted as usual. Okay, I was just flipping through my Twitter while we were on break there, and we were just talking about Donald Trump being taken off of having his Twitter account removed. And as we were talking about Nina Turner tweeted out, Donald Trump shouldn't have a Twitter account because he should have already been held accountable for inciting an insurrection.
Oh, God. Come on.
It's embarrassing.
Why?
This is embarrassing. And you know what? Okay, I just talked to Tommy about this. So Tommy was on the hour before you, and I had told Tommy the story about how I had just talked to Clint Russell few weeks ago, and I was explaining to him, because he's a libertarian and he gets angry when certain people are like held up as like the the leaders of libertarianism or whatever. And I'm like, dude, how do you think I feel? I'm lumped in with the left, and AOC is like publicly perceived to be like the leader of the left or whatever. And it's embarrassing. Like, Nina, like, this is embarrassing, Nina. Donald Trump is a lot of things. He's done a lot of things. He said a lot of terrible things. He did not incite an insurrection. And that's silly. Like, are we really still pretending like that was an insurrection? I mean, they were taking selfies, and yes, there was some stuff that went down. I am pretty convinced that there was some Fed involvement in there. Allegedly, don't come for me. He did not incite an insurrection. He did not. No, he did not.
He was just saying. He just said, "Go to the White House and let's protest." That's pretty much. I mean, that's not what he said verbatim, but that was the gist I got from when I watched the video of it. And and even if he hasn't been charged, well, I guess I don't know. He's not in court or anything, so it's like either way, why are you going to take away his First Amendment right to use social media just like everybody else? It's just Nina Turner, and you wonder why she lost last week. You wonder why I know that was a rhetorical. You wonder why.
I know.
So it was we all know why, and she lost bigly if we're going to be talking about Trump in that respect.
Yeah,
because she says she's outside. She's an outsider, and she's a kind of a Bernie lefter type person. She's a cookie cutter Democrat. She says all the same things they do, She's talking about what's going on overseas. She says the same thing as everybody else. And it's just, you know what? Just go back to TYT. Go hang out with Jank and the gang. Be angry over there about just ridiculous stuff, and just leave us the hell alone with this business, please.
Yeah.
And thank you. With these hands.
Hello, somebody. What's really frustrating about the Nina Turner stuff is that people, again, and we saw this with Bernie too. People just like took a look at her very superficial persona that she puts forward and did no research into who she actually is, where she comes from, what she stands for. She, as you said, she is a cookie cutter Democrat. This is somebody who worked at the Center for American Progress. She was on the board next to Neera Tanden. She used to be a Hillary Clinton Clinton surrogate, and still like not right now. I don't know if it's still, I think her husband runs it because she can't. But a couple years ago, she took money from a John Kasich. Yeah, that's right. I said it. John Kasich mega donor, and started a consulting firm. And remember when everybody threw a fit because she had John Kasich on her podcast? Why do you think she had John Kasich on her podcast? Because one of his mega donors funded her consulting group. Like, she is establishment, period, end of story. She tries to pretend as if she's not. But she, as you said, she is very cookie cutter. She says the exact same stuff. She follows the party line. She's not ever going to put up any kind of a fight against the Democratic establishment or the establishment in general. And it's really frustrating to me that so many people pretend as if was going to be some kind of game changer. No, definitely not. Well, I mean, it's absurd.
And I know this has been said a lot about her, and it seems to be her catchphrase now. When she was in that interview, I think with Mike Figueredo, I think she did, when she said, "I'm going to disappoint you." That was the truest thing she ever said, because if anybody actually believed in her and that she was going to actually do some good things, they were disappointed. They were severely disappointed, and she predicted that like she was an Ohio Nostradamus. So and that when people show you who they are, believe them. And she did. She showed everybody who she was. She said, I'm going to disappoint you. But she thought, well, okay, I'm going to speak a little bit of truth, but then I could get away with it, charisma and with these hands and hello somebody and all my other catchphrases. And they basically, when they went to the polls, you heard the losing sound from Price is Right. Boom, 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 boom. Back to TYT.
Oh, I used to love The Price is Right. I used to love that show. Yeah, that's true. She can go back to her podcast. She'll be fine. She can get the Katzenberg cash and it's gravy. But yeah, it's really, what do you think because it is very frustrating. I feel like so many people, as you just said, like talking about like her catchphrases and stuff, it feels like that's the limit of people's ability to, like, you know what I mean? Like Bernie Sanders, not me, us, and let's fight for somebody we don't know, and hello somebody, and you know what I mean? Like, there's always these catchphrases, and people, I think the Bernie Sanders quote unquote movement really kind of opened my eyes to that. I didn't realize how bad it was. People do not look into the people that they're supporting at all. Like, still, it's the year 2022, and you can go talk to people who still support Bernie Sanders, and they have no idea that this man is an imperialist. They have not a clue. They don't know that he supported the invasion of Iraq twice before he voted against it under George W. Bush, twice under Clinton. He's been a longtime supporter of the F-35, Yugoslavia. I mean, there's just like a ton of, he's an imperialist, and people that support him have no idea. I mean, why do you think that? Do you think that people are just really that lazy that they just don't bother? Or do you, it's that simple? Yeah,
that's just lazy. It goes back to that instant gratification we were talking about when you have labels on people. They heard enough good things about Bernie, and they were so desperate for somebody like him to come along and save the day that they just latched on to those things and said, no, you're not going to show me these other true things about him. They're going to say, oh, well, he got arrested back in the 60s. He wore mittens. Come on. And he could do what? Those are like his righteous mittens. I can do no wrong in these mittens. And and then you find out he's an imperialist, and my friend Joe, and they're buddies with the Biden. So it was going to be that kind of deal. I should have learned my lesson back in 2016. I said, okay, I'll support him a little bit in 2020, but I didn't know any better. But once that was done, I said, that's it, no more. And if he runs again, please, that's just going to be like Beverly Hills Cop 3. Okay, let me explain. So Beverly Hills Cop, great movie. Eddie Murphy. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Decent sequel, not as good as the original, but still it was great. Beverly Hills Cop 3, awful, vomit in mouth, kind of bad. So, and that's what Bernie would be. Beverly Hills Cop 3, if he ran again, and it would be laughable. He would be a joke, and
he's a joke. He is a joke.
Laughing this time around. He is a joke.
He is. He's a joke. He is a joke.
And he's brought that on himself too.
Yes. Well, he makes me super angry. If you want to get me fired up and ranting, like that's a really quick way to do it, because and as you know, like in 2016, I supported him. Like I was very cautious in my support. I knew who he was. But I genuinely believed that might be the last opportunity that we had electorally to kind of push things back in the other direction before we headed over the cliff. Right. So I was willing to support, and I did support like hardcore. I donated a crap ton of money. I wish I could get that back now. I canvassed, I phone banked, I did all of that stuff, right? And I met people in 2015 and 2016 who were literally skipping meals so that they could send that man $10. And he couldn't have thrown them under the bus faster. He never intended to fight for them. And that makes me angry. He's not a good person. Good people don't do that. Good people don't call war criminals their good friends. Good people don't tell you, gaslight you to support. Like he went out and stumped for Hillary Clinton more than she stumped for herself. And that she is literally the human embodiment of everything that Bernie claims to stand against. And that's just so gross to me. And I have absolutely zero respect for Bernie Sanders. None. Zero. Like if we could go negative, then I have negative respect for Bernie Sanders. You know what I mean? Because he didn't just screw his supporters over once. He didn't just throw them under the bus once. He did it twice. I mean, like out loud. And another thing that makes me angry, and this will not surprise you, but WikiLeaks gave him everything that he needed to challenge the 2016 primary. Literally handed it to him on a golden platter. Like, here you go. This is everything you need to challenge this primary. And he won't even say Julian Assange's name. And I just have no respect for that. None. Absolutely none. Zero. Negative.
He said in the debates, he said, I'm tired of hearing about her damn emails. It's like, dude, what were in the emails? You know, it's not the fact that they were leaked. What was in the emails? You know, that kind of thing. It's like when you expose information like that on people, and people are all like, oh, well, Julian Assange was a dick. He worked for the Russians and he wanted blah, blah, you know, all that word salad vomit nonsense. And it's like, no, your queen got exposed, and they found out that it was all just like a ruse, and it was just all BS. But it's the same thing. It's people who are in love with Bernie. You know, they can't. I don't know how to quit you, Brokeback Mountain for Bernie. I don't know how to quit you. Same thing with Hillary. I don't know how to quit you, even though she's like a rotten ham sandwich. It's been out in the sun for about 3 days. So. You know, people are strange, and they're not gonna change till bad things start happening to them personally, and then maybe they might do something. But by then it's gonna be too late. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, and I feel like a lot of this is that we've managed to, for whatever reason, people take their political positions and make them part of their identity. So if you challenge their political positions, it feels like a personal attack when it's not. It's just a challenge on the ideas that you're holding, and that should never feel like a personal attack. I realize that if somebody attacked if you're right, like if somebody attacked my position on free speech and press freedom, I don't think I would feel as if it was a personal attack, but I will fight you on it because I know that I'm right. You know what I mean? Like I know that I'm right. Yeah. So I get that aspect of it, but I really do feel like it becomes part of their identity, and then it starts to feel like you're being attacked on a personal level when people challenge you on it. And in particular, I think that we've turned politicians into celebrities. And so it's like, remember like the Tiger Beat days when, Jonathan Taylor Thomas would like take out the magazine, like and hang it on your wall. I mean, you weren't a girl, so maybe you didn't do that. But yeah, like, I mean, it's like that.
I had sisters, like so yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's like that. Well, it's celebrity and it's brand. And it's like, AOC has brand, Bernie has brand, Hillary has brand. They all have these brands that they got to defend. And it's not about the issues anymore. It's about defending the brand. and who they are, so they can run again in the next 4 years. Because, don't tarnish me, bro. I got to run again in 4 years, and I'm better than those other schmucks on the other side. And
it really is like really is the brand. It really is. It's like that people are supporting the brand and the platitudes. Like they don't really care about your actual positions. They don't really care about your actual, like, the things that you do, like what you actually fight for. That if you just say the right things and make people feel warm and fuzzy, then they'll protect you. And people don't want to look past that. It's very superficial, and that's a real problem. I don't know how we fix it, but that's a real problem. Okay, we only have a couple minutes left. So tell everybody where they can find you, the show, when you're on, all that good stuff.
All my links are Linktree /Extra Bulla, BULLA. Extra Bulla Live is Thursday nights, usually around 8 or 9 p.m. Not sure who's going to be on this week. Might have a potluck, smorgasbord of people on there, just talk about different things. I'm also on KRTD on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern with Jimmy Sunderland. We do the news there. And I also have a new gig in the middle of the night on random nights called Extra Bulla Secret Show. And we usually have a live feed of chickens from Chicken City, so that the kids been really digging the chickens on there. So if you feed them enough, then there's a chicken party apparently on that site. So just look up Chicken City on YouTube. You'll find that. It's very fun stuff. That
does sound like a lot of fun. Totally. Maybe I'll come by on Thursday. I don't know what I got going on with these hands.
What? Come on, yeah. I'll let you know.
Hello, somebody.
Please.
Such a joke. Yeah, such a joke. I need a catchphrase. Maybe people will stop terrorizing me on Twitter if I have a catchphrase. You think that'll help if I just have I just need a snappy catchphrase?
You do have one. I need better trolls. I do. That's your
It's not that I need better trolls. I deserve better trolls. My trolls are the dumbest trolls on the tweeters.com. Seriously. Okay, anyways, thanks for coming on, Warren. I always appreciate you. You always make me laugh. It's a good time. And everybody hang tight. We got more coming at you right after this here on TNT Radio.